officially open then. Thank you everyone for coming. People have come in from all over. Thank you for all the people I've talked to so far. People that, short trips from Los Angeles or Arizona, people that drove in from Colorado. Where are those people that came in from the Netherlands? Where are you guys? Don't make the mistake and call them and referencing Holland. Apparently that's a touchy subject. Where's the guy that came in from Melbourne, Australia?
Right here.
Come on. Australia. It took a boat and 3 months to get here, but it was awesome. A lot of people from Canada. Let me hear it, Canada. Wow. All right. And again, I've been doing this for 8 years, and so hopefully some of you know the drill, but I've got a funny feeling that a lot of people here are first-timers. So quick show of hands, how many first-timers to the Flat Earth Conference? Oh, wow. Good for you guys. Yeah, that's part of the speech, because Flat Earth is long from dead. I can tell you that right now. And again, thank you. This is our first close to West Coast conference, and couldn't be more thrilled having you. So, with that being said, all right, go through that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so how it works with me, if you guys, again, because for all the new people, is my speech is actually pretty short. I don't do anything real fancy like Jaron or Austin or those guys. I do pretty much a 20-minute words of wisdom, State of the Union, motivational type thing, and then I open it for questions. And so what'll happen is Karen, the lovely Karen, oh, you know what? Let's do a couple shout outs. Sorry, Karen B for doing this conference. Wow. Karen, you just did a wonderful job with this. Honestly, you came together when we were only, 20 minutes late? That's actually pretty good.
I want to thank you all for coming, because that's why I do it. If you guys didn't all show up, it wouldn't be worth doing. So thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting others.
So as far as the questions go, I'll make it easy. So I know some of you guys want to ask questions, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can privately, out in the hall or something like that. But there's also a chance for you guys to talk to me during this, because we'll have 40 minutes, give or take. And what'll happen is Karen will be standing with a mic, I don't know, about 5 or 6 rows back in the center here, right there where Karen is. And you can line up and ask questions, whatever you want. However, don't even bother lining up until I say the word to conclude. I'll give you a little wink and a nudge, and then you can do that. Otherwise, you'll be standing in line. You don't want to do that. So let's just get right to it. Thank you for the lights. All right. So before we get to my... Nope. All right, so first question that, people have been asking me off and on since 2015. Let's make sure this thing works. Hey, look at that. Which is, hey Mark, why have you been able to do some of the cool things that others with broader platforms and bigger numbers have not? The answer is simple. I have doxed myself on day one. And by that, if you don't know what dox means, it means that I put my personal information online so that people could reach out and find me if they wanted to. I do not recommend that. Especially for women. Women, don't ever dox yourself. Men, you can probably get away with it. Why did I do this? Because when I made the Flat Earth Clues in 2015, I still had a lot of questions and was hoping that the Internet Hive Mind would help me, which they did. Mostly because they had an easy way to message me directly. To drive this point home, I'm going to do this at the conference. I'm going to dox myself yet again. You guys know, you can look this up. I'm not hard to find. What follows is just some of what is in the description box of every YouTube video I have ever made. There we go. My name is Mark K. Sargent. My email address is msargent23 at comcast.net. My phone number, oh, that's not good. Somebody's already calling. That's bad. Hang on. Who is this?
Hey Mark, I don't have my name, but first time caller here. Actually, in fact, if you get to within an hour, I'll give you 10 bitcoins.
So, So David Weiss says, if I know how much is a trillion seconds, you might give me some bitcoins if I guess. You know, thank you, David, for saying that. Hang on, this is David Weiss, right?
I have no idea, I gotta go.
Okay. So that was David Weiss. To prove the point that that phone number is absolutely real. So if too many people call, I will put it into silent mode. But yeah, that's absolutely my real phone number. My address is 2125 Myres. That is not a typo. That is how it's spelled. Langley, Washington. So for the people out there that still think I'm a shill, it's not Langley, Virginia. Langley, Virginia is... I love the fact that people laugh about this, because yes, Langley, Virginia is CIA headquarters. Langley, Washington is an island in Washington State. So it's Langley, who's calling me? Hang on. 1 second. Yes?
Hey, don't dox me anytime, but off the record, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Professor Danny Faulkner is here again. He still doesn't realize the Earth is flat, and I don't know why you're talking to him. Why are you talking to him? Point him out to the audience, please.
Okay, so
okay.
okay.
Danny Faulkner, put the book, Blood, Black Law.
All right. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. All right. So no, we're not going to put a spotlight on Danny Faulkner. And honestly, if you guys don't know, and I appreciate the plus ones that are here, and by plus ones I mean the people that are not flat earthers that were dragged in. It's like, oh come on, it'll be fine. It's totally fine, you know, except for the ritual sacrifice and the bloodletting and stuff like that. You know, it's fine. No, and so yeah, the plus ones are out there. It's like, this group of people is absolutely insane. But Danny Faulkner, who is not with the Flat Earth community, he's against us. He's been against us for a long time. And he went to the first conference back in Raleigh in 2017. He does research for his books, for coming here and talking to us and doing it. What? Welcome, Danny Faulkner. Thank you for coming. Thank you. And I am sure there are others. I mean, fortunately for you, Danny, some people recognize you, but I'm sure there's other people in the audience that are here that are just kind of auditing, going, what is happening? All right, anyway, so yeah, 2125 Myres Lane, Langley Wa, not Langley Va. Oh yeah, that sounds a little dirty. No, I don't want to use that. Okay, date of birth, 11 a.m., April 24th, 1968, Seattle. Generation is X. And for those that are in astrology, that's why I put the 11 a.m. in Seattle, because people ask me that. It's like, where were you born? Exactly what time? It's like, okay, there you go. There it is. But why should we stop here? Right? Because you can find that all day long. But since this is an international conference, I think we should take it up a notch, don't you? So, my zodiac sign is Taurus. I am looking for a double Gemini with a bad moon rising. That is not true. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm looking for. It just sounded good. I've had people, I had a girlfriend, it's like, I'm a double Gemini, what are you? It's like, ooh, I don't know. Exactly. My turn-ons include good kissers and critical thinkers. My turn-offs include bad kissers and anyone who thinks Elon Musk is a critical thinker. Seriously. Elon is not your friend. Do not try to convince me that he should be my friend, okay? I mean, look at this shot. He's been a fraud for the last 25 years. This isn't Photoshop, this is real. This was when he was just a dork IT guy back in the day. Didn't know that, did you? Alright. My room number is, you wish? But seriously though, if I gave it my room number, you'd have trolls. I know there's some of you here that would call the hotel every, 10 minutes and say, ring room number 323, and then I'd have to unplug the phone. Oh wait, you just thought I would give it away. No, I actually wrote that on there. I wrote a fake phone room number. Apologies, by the way. Does anyone here actually have 323? Hopefully not. All right, my vaccination status is from my cold, dead hands. All right? See what I did there? I combined my stance on gun control with my vaccination stance. okay? 2 for the price of 1. That's conference value right there. My blood type is unknown, even though I don't know if I'm A, B, AB, O, or the negative versions. I'd like to know, but for the last 3 years, I've been a bit gun-shy about going into a hospital and finding out. Okay? See, I also threw in a gun reference there as well. I identify as a critical thinker because that's a thing. My favorite position is yes, and my safe word is do not resuscitate. For those who don't know, there's some older people in the crowd, and if you don't know what that term means, it's a word that tells someone to stop tickling you. Think about it, it's somewhat accurate, isn't it? Right? If someone next to you chuckled when I said safe word, you might want to move down a seat. Where's Renee? Renee, where are you? Yeah, whoever's sitting next to Renee. And if you were one of the people chuckling, come see me later about my room number. Little hint, it is not 323. Do not resuscitate is also accurate. I mean, come on, if you had to pick a time and place, wouldn't death by tickling be your choice? Whatever, don't judge me. All right, so as you can see, I'm also wearing what I call the code of credibility. By that, I am automatically more intelligent than you. And probably better looking than this guy. That's not true, of course. Some of you might be able to run circles around me, but at a subconscious level, it is having an effect. Seriously, the uniform is very, very important. You've heard the saying over the decades, women love a man in uniform. Every girl crazy about a sharp-dressed man. I didn't even understand that song when I was growing up. Now I do. It's absolutely true. Shout out to ZZ Top, by the way. Clothes make the man. You know that one? We react to the uniform. Policemen, firefighters, construction workers, and yes, scientists. Wear a lab coat and get in front of a camera. You would be amazed at what you can get away with. By the way, doesn't Bill Murray look terrible in this shot? He looks awful. I've been told I look like Bill Murray sometimes. He looks terrible in this. That's a great. Anyway, case in point. You ready for it? There we go. Bill Nye. He made an entire career by just wearing a lab coat and a bow tie. By the way, this is not photoshopped. This is a real thing from a video. And what he was doing was he was illustrating climate change. Again, if you look like him and you wear the lab coat and a bow tie, you're allowed to talk about anything. So he was saying, this is what climate change does to the earth. Brilliant. Real shot. God, I hate that guy. All right, now that everyone knows way too much about me, let's talk about another big question I get every year, which is, what do you see the eventual future of Flat Earth becoming? We'll address that in a minute, but first we need to get the obligatory media sound bites out of the way. The next image in paragraph, it's not for you guys, is for our enemies, our critics, and our detractors, because some media, they want to shoot this and then go away. This image and text has been sensationalized just for them because, as we all know, mainstream media loves drama. They have always tried to villainize us, and I am happy to do just that. It goes something, by the way, you can buy this. This is a real t-shirt online. You can buy this. I don't even know who sells it. I think it's awesome. Here we go. The Flat Earth Army is alive and well. Now that your mandates have been lifted, we are again on the move. We are coming for your friends. We are coming for your family. We are coming for your coworkers. Once we get them, we will come for you. It's only a matter of time. We are everywhere. You can join us and thrive, or wither in ignorance as the world changes around you. Make the decision or don't, it doesn't matter. The result will eventually be the same. You will become one of us. Long live Flat Earth. And that's the end of the dramatic soundbite. Anyone in media can email directly for the text version, or anyone wants it, happy to send it to it. Use that as a quote. Hopefully that'll be in the newspaper tomorrow. The real truth behind that statement is that we already did those dramatic things years ago. We have essentially won the social media war, and the other side just hasn't realized it yet. The proof is already out there for everyone to see. It's just that the opposition refuses to look at it. Consider this. We've been creating Flat Earth online content for the last 8 years, and yet our biggest YouTube channels are all in the low 6 figures for subscriber count. Case in point. ODD Reality. He's the highest one we have right now. He's got 336,000 subs. Oh, no, you don't have to apply. No, you'll know. David Weiss and I both didn't crack 100K until this year. Literally, I think, within 2 months of each other, we both hit about 100K. Jaredism, who's speaking right after me, is creeping along at 160K. He should be much higher. The total number of subs from our larger content creators, including Eric DeVay and a few others, maybe 1.2, 1.5 million tops. And yet, not only do we do a national conference every year, we were putting on conferences during the pandemic when almost no one else was. And why was this happening? I'll tell you, because this woman right here. Yeah, Karen Dave. Yeah. Gun control is 2 hands. Yeah. That slide has been around forever, and I love using it. And I remember, what year did you do that? In 2016? It was awesome. I love it. Anyway, how is any of this possible? How are we doing a conference with such low numbers, with the channels just creeping up there? Well, because behind the scenes, we are still the biggest secret guilty pleasure of the internet. Do a search on YouTube, type in Flat Earth, and sort by view count. You guys can do this while we're talking if you want. And you'll see something like this. What you're looking at here are the first generation click chasers, jumping up on the metrics, following the trends. These are all Flat Earth reaction videos. Shane Dawson, 40 million hits with 19 million subs. Vsauce, 35 million hits, 20 million subs. Mr. Beast did a Flat Earth reaction video, 28 million hits. The guy's got 190 million subs. I don't believe all of them are real. I'll learn a story for another time. The overall numbers are staggering. Over 1 billion Flat Earth views from the verified YouTube channels alone. That's just one platform. The masses have been enjoying our content for years, but for the most part have been afraid to subscribe to our channels because who you sub to is sometimes viewable by the public, especially on YouTube. 90% of our members are still in the closet. They come from all walks of life and they are all around you. An invisible army that infects everything with critical thinking and truth. A virus that opens minds, and today is the only real pandemic. Oh, by the way, those are Karen's hands. Though she doesn't have that tattoo, that's Photoshop. At one point in 2018, we were so popular in the search engines that we were outpacing all but the highest mainstream topics. During the summer of that year, we hit 20.9 million search results in YouTube when President Donald Trump was sitting at 20.8. And I made a video on this. It's in fact a Strange World 159 called Flat Earth Catches the President of the United States. And then, weeks later, YouTube did the unthinkable. They removed the search results calculator from the main page for all topics forever. In a sense, they killed the scoreboard in an effort to slow us down. They even reduced Flat Earth recommendations by 70%. Some people might even see that as delusional. YouTube wouldn't remove a ranking system because of Flat Earth. It's crazy, really. Well, consider this. This year, a show listener told me that so many people are currently searching for Flat Earth, it now affects non-related topics as well. This listener was watching a cheesy UFO movie. You know the type where the aliens say, "Take me to your leader." He became curious. Who is the leader of Earth? So he Googled it, and he clicked on images. Feel free to do this with me, and see what you find. Well, if you do that, if you click, who is the leader of Earth, and then click on images, you'll see Putin? Yeah, sure. I can see that. Why not? Doctor Who? Makes sense, right? That's Peter Capaldi, by the way. Great Doctor Who. And then, What's this? Mark Sargent's the leader of Earth? Sadly, no. But you can see how it happened. People searched for Flat Earth so many times that any search involving the word Earth has now been infected by our curiosity. So well done, guys. This also means that you can't give me a hard time when the spaceships show up and start asking about me. All right, so why am I so optimistic about Flat Earth? Because I've seen what has been built so far and where it's going. Oh, I've seen the future. The content created by people and in and outside of this room became the rock-solid foundation for the first generation click chasers who in turn have influenced the next generations to do what I never thought was possible. This might shock you a bit. And by the way, I'm sorry that Gen X and baby boomers are so far down this list, but this is what it lays out like right now. The masses of Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids who are turning 14 next year, that follow have been influenced so heavily that for the first time, future careers have become part of the group think, an extension of the hive mind. From an article earlier this year, you can see the media endgame trend. For decades and decades, the future aspirations of younger Americans were varied and professional. They dreamt of becoming doctors, lawyers, and unfortunately, astronauts. They aspired to be professional athletes, singers, and actors. In 1985, Dire Straits had a hit single, and the chorus was simple: money for nothing, chicks for free. The first generation click chasers used the power of illusion and made social media creation seem easy, fun, and very lucrative, which it was. In doing so, they have influenced their audience to in turn become influencers. 1 out of every 3 kids in America have now decided this is what they want to be when they grow up. To become an influencer, to be a click chaser, to create content. There are a few problems with this logic. The first is that there are far too many of them and not enough viewers to go around. Or as the saying goes, when everyone is famous, there is no audience. The Andy Warhol slide there seems so much more relevant than it used to. I mean, I remember back in the day, it's like, yeah, it's kind of catchy, but today it's extremely relevant. The second is that they are too young to create original content. They just don't have enough life experience. Some are starting channels during their early years of high school with little or no experience at all, which means they will have to do what so many have done before. The never-ending series of reaction videos, which I know you're all guilty of watching, but you wait, there's going to be so many more coming. And that is where we come in. Flat Earth is controversial but family-friendly. It generates hits and blows up the comment sections, and almost all of it isn't copyrighted, save maybe some of David Weiss's stuff. That's a whole other thing. To any reaction channel, it is virtually irresistible. Where we see truth, they see gold. Every platform that is out there now contains Flat Earth, and positive reinforcement is the rule of the day. You get a spike in hits on a particular topic, you will be doing more of that topic. Most of our more annoying troll channels are based on this premise. They discovered that making fun of Flat Earth generated more hits, and eventually some dedicated their channels to the theme. Good. All right. While the average person thinks that the trolls channels is a bad thing, I go the other way. Years ago, a producer told me it doesn't matter whether you love or hate a topic as long as you are talking about it. I'll conclude, Karen with microphone, with the summary of the future. The Flat Earth foundations and social media are too deep and too broad. It can't be removed now without taking down the internet entirely. Without the internet, they have no control. In short, we have them right where we want them. Don't applaud, no. And to the trolls, I will give you the same statement I gave back in 2015. Bringing people to your channel to make fun of Flat Earth is like shooting wooden arrows into a bonfire. From a distance, it looks like you're doing something. At the end of the day, you are just adding wood to our fire because you are in turn exposing more and more people to our truth. And even though I'm telling you this, that you are just helping our metrics, you will still shoot those arrows because we compel you to. This is our war, and you never stood a chance. Long live Flat Earth. All right, so questions. Walk up to Karen. I will probably not be able to see you because of the stage lights, which is absolutely fine. Which slide do you want in the background more? You like this one or, oop, I wasn't supposed to do that yet. Okay, so anyway, I'm giving away cards. So one of you guys is gonna walk away with this lab coat, otherwise known as the code of credibility, which you have to ask a question to get. You can't buy a raffle ticket, we're giving away for free. You'll have a card like this. It's not going to be this card. But Karen's going to hand you a card, and then I will flash the card on the screen, and if you get that, win it. So, what do you got?
Okay, who should the burden of proof be put upon? The flat earthers or the globe cards?
The burden of proof, flat Earth or globe. Where it should be on? It should be on the globe.
Yeah,
It absolutely should be on the globe. The stuff that we've generated, the content that we've generated over the last 8 years is deep. I mean, it is really comprehensive, and so many people have done some amazing work. I mean, on the physical side, all the tests that we've done, the long distance photography test, the gravity versus the vacuum of space, the eclipse shadow, radiation belts, all the biblical stuff. I mean, for those of you who don't know, if you've never gone to the late Rob Skiba's website, testingtheglobe.com, it is absolutely brilliant. He did such a wonderful, wonderful work, and we're going to be paying tribute to him and others in the memoriam later. So anyway, yeah, the burden of proof is definitely on the globe. We know what we see, and here, don't forget that almost everybody in this room except for the +1 started out as a glober, right? Again, I would have been outside this room 8 years ago. No question. I've talked to too many people. I'll give you a quick story. There was a journalist interviewing me some years ago, and he had me in the hot sun for like 40 minutes. He was in the shade. He did it deliberately. He wanted to see if he could push my buttons. And at the end, he's like, "Look," he goes, "I'm not getting anything here." He goes, I'm swearing at you. I'm calling you names. I'm making fun of your beliefs." He goes, why aren't you coming back at me?" And I said, "Because 5 years ago I was you. Why that'd be hypocritical for me to go after you. Why would I do it?" So there you go.
Okay, yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, I feel empowered to be here around all my flat earth brethren and sisters right now, so thanks for having me. Secondly, what I wanted to ask was, I have a girlfriend, God bless her soul, who...
Why, is she dead?
She's not dead.
Okay.
It's worse than that.
Oh, they haven't found her yet?
She's a glober. So, let's slow down a little bit, all right? So, God bless her soul, she's a glober, and that was me less than a year ago. I'm freshly out of the closet, I'll be honest. So, the closet, but anyways, how can I get my girlfriend to see the light?
Well, boy, that varies. Okay.
I bought her the app. She's just not sold. And our relationship is drifting a little bit, I'll be honest, because of this one dilemma. The truth.
All right, I'll be as honest and as blunt as I can. It really depends on the circumstances. I suppose there's some follow-up questions here, which is, okay, does she have a master's degree in anything?
No.
Okay, does she have a bachelor's degree in something?
Yes.
Is it a physical science?
No.
Oh. She's got a shot. Does she have any family? No, seriously. There's a shot there. Did she have any family members that used to work in aerospace?
Her grandfather's a NASA scientist.
There we go.
Hey, don't tell me that. She's my girlfriend.
Very proud of her grandfather, is she?
Well, I've only met him once, and he doesn't respect me.
Oh, you mean he's alive?
He is.
Oh,
In
yeah.
his 90s.
Yeah.
We had a very brief conversation.
I imagine very brief. Wait, you actually just brought it up to him?
I did.
Oh. Okay, I'll give you some. Okay, that probably wasn't a good move.
Yeah.
How long you guys been dating?
Over a year now.
No. Oh, you've been dating a year, and how old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, dude, plenty of time. There's so many people out there. So many people. Why you hanging on, man?
Okay, yeah. So, let me ask you this. Is it worth it? Is being a part of this community worth everything?
No, well, yes.
All my friends hate me. My family thinks I'm a fool. My relationship's struggling.
Welcome to the club. That's us every day, man.
That's fair.
I get what you're saying. It is, but in your case, honestly, I wouldn't have even brought it up to her grandfather. I'll tell you a quick story. One of the NASA garage mechanics, the NASA garage mechanic, was my next door neighbor briefly when I was living in Boulder, Colorado. His name was Wayne Ottinger. You can look him up, click on images. It's him with astronauts all day long. He was the guy that built all the stuff that they faked.
Okay.
And when I walked into his house, it was literally Lifetime Achievement Award plaques all over the place. I mean, he was the guy. Was I gonna bring up Flat Earth to him? How? How could I do it? He was like 85 already, and he's like, why? Why? I mean, what? He was in so deep, which is why I asked about the education level.
Yeah.
Again, if you have a master's degree in physical science or higher, the conditioning's too far. There's nothing to do. I have yet to meet a PhD in well, that's not true. There's been a couple, but they're not gonna go public. But most of them, they don't want to do it. So in your case, hey, I'm sorry, man, but come on. I'm sure there's other people in this room. Relationships have risen and fallen on Flat Earth. I mean, by that I mean there's people that have gotten married and had kids because of Flat Earth, and there's people like, yeah, it's a strong paradigm.
Well, I don't want to get too personal, but has anyone in here lost a significant other due to their beliefs? By raising hands?
We talked about it.
You've lost
Show of hands, anybody broken up over Flat Earth?
Yeah.
So, was it worth it?
And they can see.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's look, if she's digging her heels, honestly, if you gave her the app and you actually watched her go through the app, now you know David says, well, you know, click on the 2 weeks area, and you know, and that, and you'll be a flat earther. I'll give you 84 Bitcoin.
Hey, I love Dave, so we gotta tone it down a little bit on that.
I'm not making fun of Dave.
Okay.
Oh no. I like Dave.
All right, good.
I like Dave. I
That's
get a
the
chance to
voice,
do a
that's
funny
all.
voice
Yeah.
because of Dave.
Yeah, okay. But anyways, why is the government in on this big lie? Why do they want us to be deceived?
Well, you are new.
Yeah.
Okay, the biggest reason, I've said this in a bunch of different interviews,
Yeah.
it's not what they stand to gain, it's what they stand to lose, more than anything. Again, if you don't know, if you're the government, right, we didn't have decent tech. Everyone thinks, oh, we were born with smartphones in our hands. Like, no, we didn't even have pressurized aircraft. You know, we even had that for 100 years. So if you don't know that the world is the shape it is until 1960, give or take, do you tell the general public? No, you can't. I mean, that's extremely valuable. It's worth more than money, and that's proven by the Antarctic Treaty at the bare minimum. So you hold on to that as long as you can until you can figure out a way to use it to your advantage. That's why you do it. I mean, you've heard me listen. I don't want to drone on about that, but I mean, academically, it's a nightmare if that's true. Economically, oh my God, world markets have to be suspended for a long, long time. And then the religious side, again, you're giving the 5 major religious houses of this world simultaneous leverage over science, and you're asking them to show restraint. Not something they're probably going to do. So between that is a short Illuminati meeting, right? You know, the long table, really dark room, everybody's smoking, you know, and the guy at the end, who apparently sounds like David Weiss, says, yeah, we're going to hold on to this for a while. Hope that helps.
I mean, that was honestly not the answer I was looking for.
No? What answer were you looking for? The government had a better answer than
Well,
that?
no, I want a deeper answer. Why?
Why? Okay, no.
Why are we the select few? What's so special about us? How did we get here? Why is everyone else in the closet with darkness and dishonesty? Why are we the few?
Why are, good point.
No, just
Why,
makes
no,
sense.
why are we here? Law of averages. More than anything, there is a, you know, bell curve, spectrum, whatever you want to call it, for every group out there. There's always, it's a terrible example, but I love pop culture. I know guys to this day that will never watch Titanic, ever. Even though it won every award you could possibly win, because they think it's stupid, because they already know the boat sinks. Right? And yet there's, you know, all sorts of, there's always going to be people that go against the grain. You're never going to, what's the old saying? Fool some of the people all the time and all the people some of the time, but not all the people all the time. Right? That's what, you know, there's going to be people, the critical thinkers here, there's tons of them all over the place. What's fun about this is the critical thinking, when we spread it, it affects other people. And yeah, it doesn't work on everybody. Probably like your girlfriend. but it does work on a number of people. I mean, and I've said on different things, the worst part about flat Earth is the satisfaction you don't get. Because in your case, like, you want them to turn when you want them to turn. Like a vampire biting somebody. It's like, oh, they're gonna be a vampire. But when we do flat Earth, the worst part is you tell somebody and you think you got them and they're like, nah, and then they walk away, and then 4 weeks later, 2 months later, whatever it is, then they come around. Which is why, in your case, how long ago did you expose her to it?
Less than a month ago.
Oh, dude. What are we even talking for? It is a marble in a paint can situation. Look how long it took me. It took me 9 months. Now, granted, I didn't have the content that was out there that's currently out there.
Yeah.
But it took me 9 months, and I was extremely stubborn. I've known people that, I mean, a month, that's nothing. Because it rattles around their head and rattles around their head. And the other thing you got to look for, something was told to me, and you guys will have to look it up if you want to correct me. It's the 7th or 8th man syndrome,
Okay.
which is if you hear something, a random topic, not that's being solicited to you, you hear somebody talk about something. It's like, oh, hey, did you hear about this television show? Hey, did you hear about this television show? If you hear that 7 times, subconsciously you're going to look into it. And so, which is one of the reasons we're spreading the way we are, and why they tore down the scoreboard and did all this other fun stuff. We were spreading so fast. I remember YouTube promoted this for 3 years. So in her case, it's probably going to be some weird abstract thing. I mean, no offense, and I know we're talking, it's just you and me talking.
Sure.
But
I mean, this is the.
is she pretty bright? I mean, do you think she's?
Well, that's what she said. She says the smarter you are, the more impossible it is to believe in the flat Earth. It's like, are you calling me an idiot?
Well, I like that saying. Really?
I'm not the sharpest
even
tool
heard
in
that
the shed
saying.
here, but I'm an idiot. Jeez.
Well, if she ever brings up the Dunning-Kruger effect, then just.
That's what she said I was a victim of. I was like,
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh yeah. All right.
She said I'm right here on the confidence and right here on the expertise. And I was like, is she right?
I hear you.
Maybe she is right. She
I hear
I
you.
don't know.
All right.
She's gaslighting me?
You're good. But thank you for that. So next questions. Hopefully I did what I could. All right. Who's next? And thank you, by the way, for being so open, by the way. And you didn't dox her. You didn't give us her name, and so we're good.
Hello, I do have one very specific question, but I would say, first off, you have given me a lot of encouragement just to come out of the shadows. I've been hiding this for 5 years.
Awesome.
I mean, I haven't told my mother. And I when I got audacity to tell my own mother, who is like still an accountant and a very logical person that loves Star Trek, even though she's 78. I said, Mom, do you know why the real reason is that we're going to Las Vegas? She goes, why, honey? Why are you going? It's because we're going to a flat Earth convention. She got angry.
Why wouldn't she?
Yeah,
Why
because
wouldn't
she's
she?
a very smart person, and she's wondering, like, well, you're smart. Why are you going?
Yeah.
But that's not what my question's about. I just want to encourage you that everything you displayed on the screen said, I have this burning question because of what you displayed on your screen. It's like, it's time to find and pray for Congress people, world leaders. Like, there's someone that will listen, that will give us representation in the government. There's some good person somewhere that has a connection with God and will hear it. Because I can tell you, I married a flat earther because he was the one that told me about it. I didn't find it through the internet, but I'll tell you why I believed him. It's because of 1 month before I met him, I was at a prayer church meeting in a small group in someone's house.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, during deep prayer, I just got, there's this massive deception. It's like dark, billowing clouds all over the earth and the world, and everyone is affected. It's so massive. This is such a massive deception. And it's like there's these people that believe the earth is flat, and I'm telling my church leader, like, it's like there are these people that believe the earth is flat, and he's staring at me, and everyone's just quiet. They're like, what is she talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, I prayed, and this is what happened, and they were silent. They didn't kick me out, they just didn't know what to make of it. But I met my husband 1 month later, and he told me just basically about you and your stuff, and I believe it, because I know what happened.
Thanks.
And the thing is, isn't it time to reach out to Congress, talk to world leaders, like our local government.
It's happening actually on its own. Again, some of you guys probably saw the Trudeau thing where he just all of a sudden during the middle of like a community panel just started talking about how he was curious about the flat earthers. Most of the peer pressure is a powerful thing, extremely powerful. And when it comes to big groups like governments, I mean, not just the Senate and the House and Congress and all that stuff, but look up the Ash experiment. I mean, peer pressure usually keeps everything down, but only on the surface, right? Behind the scenes, people whisper stuff to each other all the time. I hear it all the time. That's the big secret. Again, it's why I called flat Earth the world's guilty secret pleasure, secret guilty pleasure, which is behind the scenes, people will look up that stuff. But in public, it's going to be tougher. For me, it's more, we're going to have to tip the scales without going official. Don't forget, I don't know, again, how long you were in it, but other than 5 years, or if you looked up when the Senate did the special thing when they were tamping down on internet censorship, and they banned the election results, snake oil, false flags, but they said they would recommend flat Earth less. And which was meant, flat Earth was still making a whole bunch of money for them. Reaction videos make a lot of money. So anyway, sorry. Long story short, peer pressure is going to keep most of that down. I know what you want. I want it too, but it's going to take a lot more celebrities and a lot more people empowered to mention it. It'll happen. I'm not worried. All right, thank you. Or not. Make more sense if it's an actual greenhouse. So they say, well, it's gravity. Okay, so the same gravity that couldn't keep the air from going upstairs right now. You walk outside, that gravity keeps the air there. No, not a chance. Which is why, again, some of the signs are, try to look up a vacuum test. Which is why, sorry, one more thing. Which is the challenge I put out there for years, which eventually I just bailed on because nobody even called me. Which was, you want to prove it because the spacesuit absolutely does not work. It's the only object, you can look up on YouTube all day long, you put anything in a vacuum chamber, you crank it up, it explodes, right? Volleyball, football, can of soda, whatever it is, it just explodes. The only object that doesn't do this is the astronaut suit. And it makes no sense whatsoever. The astronaut suit is just basically a deflated balloon. It should turn into a parade float, it should tip over, and they should die. And they don't. And I've called people, I said, look, tell me what is in that magical backpack that counteracts the vacuum of space. I mean, it's like, the fingers work fine, all the articulation points work, the arms and legs work absolutely fine. It's like, no, that's not how it works. But it was brilliant, and all the Americans had to do was like, oh no, just put it on television. The physics, the physicists will be like, oh no, it's fine, right? It just works. Don't explain how it works, it just works. Ugh. Anyway, so there you go. How's that?
Hey Mark, my question's a little different, kind of playing devil's advocate, and it's just kind of what I've been trying to do lately with flat Earth.
Is this Crumb?
This is Crumb. Hi.
You got a distinctive voice.
I know, I sound like Beatles.
It's not like that, but it's
I sound like Steve-O. But, so my question is this. The last, 8 years of flat Earth has been just a giant turd in the punch bowl for, a plan that clearly has, every angle of this whole deception, is clearly, well thought out.
Right.
As soon as you start thinking, I can disprove this, they'll just give me some 24-hour footage of Antarctica. Oh, no, you can't. Every time you think of, this will go away, you realize how much thought has gone into this. So my question to you is, do you ever wonder, and I think everybody in this room, obviously, it's good that we have this information, but have we ever wondered, is it possible that maybe we're not supposed to know this? And I'm not saying this for me. This is just me playing devil's advocate. I want the truth out there, but a part of me is wondering what's going to happen if everybody finds this out so quick? Is there any backlash has that ever crossed your mind at all?
Yeah, and in fact, I call it something I've come up with in the last few months. I call it the Tower of Babel protocol, which is if you guys know the Bible at all, the Tower of Babel, Genesis, one of the early stories, which is the first civilization, if you follow along, it's very short, was unified. It was engineering high level, and they were extremely focused. And they were and the worst part was they knew where they were. It's like, oh, in a closed system? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna build a bridge to the top. We're gonna meet God. And you know, the story goes, God looked down, he's like, okay, this is not gonna work at all. So let's scatter, language, and then get rid of the tower. And that's it. So imagine that, but multiple, I've said it a million times, you know, we're not the first people to rent this apartment, not by a long shot. You know, some can say it's off Japan, some can say it's off India, Pumapunku, Machu Picchu, the Bosnian pyramids, the real pyramids, Bimini Road, so on and so on and so on. So the question is, I think every civilization, kind of like what we're doing now, every civilization has their time and then eventually they figure it out. And some take longer than others, and ours has taken quite a long time. But I absolutely do believe that once the scales tip to a certain point, whoever runs this place, whatever you want to call it, whether you know it's God or God subcontracted out to work, the you know superintendent, whatever, they would get involved, and then we'll get to figure out who, at the very least, who built this place. And why wouldn't you? That'd be the wonderful discovery, you know, the big reveal, the big show at the end. So I encourage it. I want it to happen. I'd love it to happen. Because why? Come on, we're tapped out. This civilization's gone as far as it is.
I agree. It is time.
We're not getting any better. You guys know it. We're getting way worse. I mean, come on, the clown worlds I do on Strange World, they're just getting so bizarre. They're so strange out there, and it's just not that fun anymore. You know, so I think that's part of it. You know, is this place a reality show? I don't know. But look, every story has an end. Every story, every civilization that was before us. Again, all those things I listed before. Eventually, they ran their course. So there you go. All right.
All right, we gotta
Wrap this up. You know,
wrap it up after this because we're pushing into Jaren's time and we gotta get.
oh yeah, I don't want to. Okay, one more, then
And
we'll
don't forget, don't worry if you don't, you know, ask a question now because we are going to have a panel Q&A tomorrow after dinner where all the speakers that are still here will be up there. I think the only one that will be missing will be Mark Devlin, but all the speakers will be up there and we'll have a 2-hour Q&A session. So don't worry about not getting your questions.
So if this is the last question, anybody else that wants a card? How many cards you got left, Karen? A lot. Do you? Okay. Anyone wants a card? Anyone wants a chance to get this jacket? Just line up next to Karen and she'll hand you a card. We're not doing anything, so you don't have to be scared. Okay, last question. What do you got?
All right. Hello, everybody. Hi, Mark. DJ here.
Oh, DJ.
I just
my
have two
future ex-boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
I promise not to break your heart. But I do have 2 questions. Number one, it should be pretty simple. But
Yeah.
besides flat Earth being the truth, why is it so important?
Why is flat Earth so important? Because it makes an incomprehensible universe, one, make more sense and gives it purpose. Meaning, we took the entire universe, which, I mean, come on, you know, you needed what? Trigonometry and quantum mechanics and advanced calculus, just to even begin to try to understand it, right? If it makes sense at all, and it doesn't. And we shrunk it down to a giant studio apartment. In doing so, we gave it purpose. Meant this place was built for a reason. It was built for you. It was built for all of it. And which means you're here for a reason. And then there's a plan involved. And you're not just some random speck covered in water and smoke flying through a universe in impossible directions, get snuffed out by anything at any time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To me, flat Earth brings hope.
Yes.
It brings hope to
It
every
is a
single
message of
person
hope.
here.
And to your point, DJ, there's a reason why, look, I've gone to other conspiracy things back in the past. It's mostly, you know, dark and low, not David Weiss, dark and low tones, everybody's talking like Batman. And it's really sinister. It's all the government this and the government that. And there's a reason why there's so many women here, for example. And that is, every woman that I talk to, I can't say every woman, most women say, oh yeah, because flat Earth is a message of hope. It's positive. It's not like the other stuff. You know, it's like every other conspiracy seems dark and horrible. And flat Earth has this light around it. That there's this shiny ending that if you can get so far, it blossoms into something fantastic. So yeah.
Well, amen. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here, for the hope that the truth will come out. And my last question is, how's my jacket?
DJ felt bad. I was somewhat okay. Last thing,
But that's, you can answer
No,
that later.
I'm gonna
Thank
bring
you,
it up.
everybody.
People, no. If I don't answer now, people are just gonna say, "What do you mean about the jacket?" People, I hear that over and over. Okay, I was making fun, but I wasn't making fun of gay people. I said, I was somewhat offended that no gay man has ever hit on me, ever. I have never shown up on anybody's gaydar, ever, apparently. And I went to a Los Angeles meetup, DJ was there, and he felt sorry for me, and so he said I was wonderful, and then he gave me his jacket, and I took it home, and so I appreciate the effort. So anyway, is Jaron about ready to come up?
Yeah, he's ready.
Okay, so with that, thank you guys, and the next person up, thank you.